We are back.
I think.
What episode, Quickbites? I always forget. I'm terrible.
30 something.
10? 8? Episode 8, season 3.
Who knows? Is that what Char said?
Yep. He was
season 3,
to me.
but like technically.
Episode like 57, something like that. We've been podding every week. I know I took a little 6-week sabbatical, but we've got some great things on the docket today. Have you, I reached out to ChatGPT to ask to write our script for the podcast today.
How'd it go?
It was phenomenal.
Really?
Yep. Copy and pasted that shit right into my notes. So you're just going to get burned by ChatGPT in the pod today.
I want to get ChatGPT on my phone, on my device.
I know. For those of you watching the podcast, if there's like one app,
there's
like a few apps that they
just use it.
Integrated it, but I just don't, I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust like one app because like they all have like a shit ton of like 12,000 reviews. And I'm like, all right, can't they just come out with the real one?
Yeah. Like ChatGPT mobile.
Right.
I
know that Bing came out and I freaking hate the user interface of the Bing app. I tried it for 2 weeks and I was like, okay, this is just like not good.
Yeah.
I hear there's a shortcut though that you can like program Siri to use the web browser.
I heard that. I need to figure that out because I was talking that I want like Siri to be my ChatGPT.
Yep.
I don't have to like open an app.
I know. We need to just like go
like, hey,
back
Siri.
and find that video and like and just do it.
Yeah.
We need to do it. And then we can tell you guys if it's great or not. All right. How we're, that can lead us into our first topic today. AI, what's your take? Where things are going, how quickly it's evolving. I'm curious to know how you view it from your young perspective.
I view it as I need to learn about it and use it or else I'm going to be left in the dust. But I am very far behind. So I know that it's like, like the internet when it first started, everyone was like, this isn't going to stick around. I feel like that's kind of what it is. People are like, it's not. There's just a lot of skepticism around it. I know that it is important though. If you're not learning it now, that you need to be learning about it, regardless if that means you're using it to help you.
You're just playing around with it.
Yeah. Regardless if that's like helping you create your job or whatever, or to like replace your job or whatever. But there's other ways you can use it as well, just from an everyday aspect. I mean, if you have a smart home, I'm sure you could program something there you could automate things at home even.
Right. So I've always had this mentality of like, wait until I feel like we have the technology. It's just, it hasn't been put into application yet. Like when you pull up to your house, your garage door should open for you.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to program your car sensor and the garage door sensor to know when it's your car pulling up.
Yeah.
But
like, why is that not a...
Yeah. It's just like little simple things like that. Like I thought 5 years ago that when I meant smart home, like it was going to learn my habits faster than the technologies like evolved in the application standpoint. Like I feel like we have it. It's just, it hasn't become so mainstream. Like I thought the smart home, when I bought my first home, was going to be like, oh, like we can do all this really cool stuff. Yeah, you can do some cool things, but it hasn't caught on as quickly as I've thought.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just the slowness of the consumer adoption. But maybe I'm completely
100%.
wrong.
Well, I mean, shoot. Old people just got used to social media and the internet. Now it's like AI. So like people are like generations behind on innovation. And
Exactly.
people like
with
us
Quickbites Media, we're like launching social media strategies. And I'm like, man, these people still don't get it.
Yeah.
They're definitely not going to get AI.
Yeah. And then it's just like, I mean, we're younger. So it's like we keep up with everything. But even AI, I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know.
I read something yesterday that it is moving. The consumer right now is so used to annual upgrades. Our new iPhones come out every year. The new MacBooks come out every 2 years. It's a huge leap in technological like growth every year. But the thing about AI that's really fascinating to me is it's growing like it's doubling every week.
Yeah.
So like these auto GPTs now that like you could say, order my pizza from the best pizza restaurant in downtown Boise and have it delivered at my door. And I haven't tested like the usability of that, but it's fascinating to me that it's growing. Like we've got to start to think of it's doubling every week rather than every year.
Like its capabilities.
Exactly.
Because it can learn.
Do you think the robots are going to take over?
I don't know.
I got something for you. On your trip to Arizona,
okay,
freaking download iRobot and watch the movie, and we're talking about it on the pod next week. Okay. iRobot.
Where is it? I don't know.
Dude, it's the greatest movie about AI, and it's like it's super relevant right now.
Great. I was watching this clip of an AI thing, and it was like all the comments were just like iRobot.
Yep. iRobot. Riley's too young for that movie.
Yeah, what the hell is
sad. It's a great Will Smith movie.
Bree always FaceTimes me during the pod.
Let me answer
I'm hanging up.
Let me answer it. I hope she's not naked.
Yeah, she's probably not. She doesn't intend to do that.
We're on the podcast right now.
I'll call you in 20 minutes.
Oh, man. Oh, my wife's calling now too.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
Usually it is though.
I know,
like
right?
You're getting Panera.
She feeling better? Man, we had this stomach bug go through when we had this party this weekend. File a lawsuit.
I dodged it.
Knock on wood. It didn't get me for 5 days after it started in the household. So hopefully not in Arizona. You got your head in a toilet.
Yeah.
AI is fascinating to me. I think that everybody out there needs to start using it and playing with it. You know, it's similar to social media. Like I had a lot of success out the gate on social media because I was just like testing things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's helped not only like, it's just helped in like business tremendously. So I can only imagine what you could do to replace task loads using the technology we have nowadays. It's not like using a computer or using ChatGPT. It's just using the technology we have.
Yeah. And I think like I overthink it a lot too because I'm like, I could use it for a lot more simple tasks because I'm always like, I need to give it the most challenging task ever. But I'm like, I could literally just ask it. Like the other day I was trying to figure out how to do like, I can't even remember now, but like just a simple task. And I was like, oh, I'll just ask ChatGPT. And I'm like, I don't need to give it this equation to figure out. Like I can just ask it a simple question too.
Right.
Like it can be a tool for more than just like physics or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah. Like we don't need it to solve the world's most intellectual problems. What's really interesting is it probably will get a lot better at that. And it can potentially solve some of those really difficult problems when it comes to like healthcare and like DNA. And like, I just think that like we're going to kick cancer's ass in the next 20 years with this technological, like we can run these studies.
Do you not think we already have the cure though?
I feel like we do. They're just keeping it from us.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
damn government
effed. But yeah, I think if there are things people don't want to like people to know, AI is going to help them figure it out. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah. Well, it's able to take data sets too and like compute and make assumptions. Like when I ran and messed with it the other day, like it assumed certain things, but it told me its assumptions. So then I could tweak those assumptions to tailor it to end up with a better result.
Yeah.
And I think it's like really fascinating too that what you need to practice and get good at right now is your inputs. You know, in any, and I learned this in commercial real estate early on when I was running like pro formas on commercial properties. There's so many assumptions that you have to make at like day one to day one of year 10, because you're making all these assumptions of rental rates. You're making assumptions of, does this tenant go out of business in 5 or 7 years? Does the building sell at year 10 at this price? The cool thing about the technology we have nowadays, we can like backfill that thing with so much data that our assumptions are going to get better and better and better. And yes, nothing is perfect because of the aspect of emotion, I think is what skews some of the AI when you are running these like perfect formulas, you'd say. But it's just interesting to me. So
yeah, it's probably not going anywhere, going away anytime soon.
Yes.
So learn how to use it.
We're going to do a little interjetson in this podcast. We've got Aaron Rodgers going to the New York Jets. What do you think of that?
Well, I saw that because you put it on the pod notes. I didn't even see it yet, and then I saw Gary post about it. He's probably hyped.
They might have a Super Bowl ring before he owns the Jets.
I thought that Aaron was going to call it, but I guess he's still
did some ayahuasca. I was like, I'm going to be a Jet.
He's ready to extend his career by 15 years.
Yep.
No, he'll probably play for like what, 5 more years maybe.
Oh, I don't even think so. I think
even
he's
that
got
much.
like 2 in him.
Just to, okay.
I wonder what kind of deal he signed with the Jets too. Like, was it a 2-year deal, 1 year, 3 year? I'm really fascinated
It's like,
to
all
see.
right, 6-month deal, and then you're getting out of here middle of the season.
I think it's so funny, all the memes out there about Zach Wilson. And like, if they bring in a veteran quarterback, I'm gonna make his life living hell.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting. Kind of cool though to see, like, the Jets have just,
Sucked.
they've always sucked.
Yeah.
So maybe Aaron Rodgers can inject some talent into
hopefully,
that
I
team.
hear he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, he always looks like a dick.
Yeah,
on TV.
he's
Like,
he's
he
the
always
biggest
looks-
like douche, I
Yeah.
guess, from what I hear is like. But similar to like a Tom Brady, like you can't hate the guy because he's so talented, but maybe a lot of that like uncharismatic personality is
Yeah.
like because they're so focused and so good.
True. They have like a lot of smart people are like awkward or like don't like
Right. Like Elon.
Yeah.
He's like the most awkward interview person ever.
Yeah.
Love
He's
it.
just not very good at like enunciating his words.
Yeah, he sounds like a
also South
computer's
African,
talking.
so, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Jets gonna make a run.
I mean, I'm sure Gary's going to be doing a lot of sports betting this year. Finally, yeah, I don't know. Gary's just always like rooting him on, and they're just like, I feel that though. Like the Dolphins aren't the best, but I'm always like,
Is that your squad?
yeah, that's my squad.
Dolphins god
Yeah,
guy.
they didn't do too bad last year. but
Tyreek hanging him up after one more
hanging
year.
him up. Yeah, he'll be done.
I think right.
I think he has one more season because he said 25,
Smart dude.
maybe end of 25.
Those
I don't
dudes'
know.
bodies just get thrashed.
And,
Especially like wide receiver, running backs, linebackers. Like quarterbacks can kind of be pretty safe, but still, man, that's
Tyreek's like 28, 29, so he's calling it at a good time.
that's perfect. I turned 30 this year, and I'm like, dude, there's no way I could be
Isn't that
head-on
crazy?
collisions.
Yeah, and Tyreek's
Like
so
when you're like a
fast.
teenager and like early 20s, like yeah, you could take that beating on your body, but like no way.
Dude, I woke up sore today.
Riley, you're not that old.
Dude, I don't know what I did, but I don't know. I was trying to think of like maybe I did something in my sleep or slept wrong. But I was just
Backflips, baby.
sore.
Doing those
I think it
backflips this
was.
weekend.
I think it was those.
Riley was jumping on a tramp.
No, on the ground.
Oh, you can do a backflip on the ground?
Yes. it was on
That's
the
why you
ground.
probably hurt yourself.
Yeah, I didn't hurt myself. I just I just felt sore when I woke up, and I was like,
Riley.
I literally did that like 5 days ago.
Riley. Let's talk a little politics.
Okay.
We've got some drama.
Yep.
Right wing, left wing. We got Tucker Carlson leaving
Yes.
Fox
well,
News.
Did you also see what's his face from CNN?
Don Lemon.
Yep.
Yep.
They both got let go on the same day.
It's like really interesting. I think that there's like,
Something going on.
I don't know. I'm really intrigued with media nowadays. And I was talking to my dad about this weekend is the fact that we have like these news sources now that are digital in ways you have the ability to like fact check and find out like the real truth. I feel like over the next 5 years, like media in general is going to change. The Wall Street Journal doesn't have as much credibility as it did 10 years ago. New York Times doesn't have as much credibility. And, their goals were to get more people to read their news source than the other. You know what I mean? So they were very motivated by clickbait, headline reading, all that stuff. Where nowadays with, Discord and Twitter and, these private YouTube channels that are publishing like real useful information, I'm curious to see how that changes not only politics, but like the media in general that we pay attention to, Fox News and CNN and like MSNBC, like these main news sources, like what do they do to become more credible?
There
I
it
don't know.
is.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Well, what is the
news.
truth?
I
You know,
don't-
it's like
yeah.
how deep does it go? Some of the rooted like stuff that goes on in the media and politics that's so covered up or hush hush because of someone's deep pockets. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch or consume any news. I notice a drastic difference on like my well-being.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
So it's pretty freeing actually. I'm like, but I'm like, I should be informed, but I'm also like, I don't know.
How do you consume news when you do consume news? Is
It's
it the
mostly
news app on your
financial.
phone? Is it okay?
On Instagram? It's mostly financial news. And I follow the Instagram page called Wealth. It's like a really big one. And it kind of started out as more like financial stuff, but now it's kind of just a news source as a whole.
Okay.
And it's just posts like, it just honestly is like quick, digestible headlines.
Right.
And I think there's stories behind them. But like one I just saw this morning that was like, Bill Gates says AI is going to be able to teach kids how to read and write within 18 months. Within the next 18 months, it will be able to do that.
I heard something about that, like it
But
being a tutor.
Well, did you see those headbands those kids are wearing in China? It shows when they're focused, distracted, learning, like it's like green, red, blue.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Also, this picture of
That's what my Whoop tells me. It's like when I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
It's like, boop.
Exactly. So they literally like wore them on. I'll pull up a picture in a second. But do you see Tucker yesterday driving around in his
Florida
golf cart? He's
good old Tucker Carlson. So I don't know too much. I know that there was an Old Dominion lawsuit that was settled with Fox News for like $900 million, something like that, where it was based around, and this isn't the last lawsuit about all of the voting issues in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when the election was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Tucker Carlson, I think, is a great broadcaster. I think he's searching for the truth. And I think that was some of the troubles with some of the news sources is he was finally starting to like really produce truthful stuff. Cause I mean, any good broadcaster wants to, portray truthful information, you know, with their spin on it. So that's where news and media to me is very fascinating and like what's going to happen with it in the future. Like Tucker Carlson or these guys could partner up with Elon and launch some sort of news thread through Twitter or like start their own channels that can be just as popular. And like when you start to pull out these big players that have such huge attention grabs, it's like what's going to happen to like these news sources, you know? I don't know. It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy because like looking at like the older generation, even like my grandparents, like I see them watch the news and like how they're portrayed. I'm just like seeing people just like be super like like they believe it, like
everything.
100%,
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, I think our generation is just like is kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? We're kind of like pushed to like ask questions and like be curious, and like the older generation is just like, no, this is what it tells me, kind of thing.
Right.
It's kind of interesting because that can be dangerous thing in news, like especially when you just see headlines and believe it. Like,
right,
it's crazy. We were filming with Sean yesterday, and he was like, I don't even want to say skin a cat. He's like, I feel like someone will like hate on me.
Dude, see, this is where you really have to start to have your own opinions, and if I don't know, as I've gotten older, like I'm gonna piss some people off, but you kind of have to form your own opinion. And I posted this little thing on Instagram yesterday about like being a good man.
I saw that.
You know, it's kind of interesting about like
not being a nice guy, being a good man.
Yeah. And like really formalizing like your opinions and sticking with that, not just like being a pushover when someone else is like wanting you to believe something a certain way, you know, have your own belief systems and your worldview. I know Jim Cramer says that a lot. Jim's just getting like hammered, dude. He's getting bagged on so bad on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, I need to buy into the inverse fund of him.
Little Jimmy, I know. How well is that doing? We need to
great.
We need to talk about that on the pod next week.
Yeah.
Inverse Kramer.
Gosh.
I love it.
Sweet.
What else we want to leave the followers with today?
I think that's all.
We are officially live. This podcast is dropping on Twitter now weekly. I don't know if you knew that, but it is.
I didn't.
So it is.
Char, here we go.
Yep.
Can you post long form content yet though?
We can. We're gonna subscribe so we can.
Okay, I think we're on the wait list.
Because we have a great news channel. We're gonna push it through Twitter. Okay. Quickbites Media.
Yep. Coming to Twitter.
Coming to Twitter.
We'll add it to Char's to-do list.
Done.
Sweet.
Love it.